What's up, Facebook and beyond, YouTube? I thought we were on Facebook for a second, but we are on YouTube.
It's all right.
We can do so many more things on YouTube,
Yeah.
streaming, swear a little bit, you know what I mean, talk really in depth about everything. But Connor Matthews, the controller, man.
What's up, man? Glad to be back, man.
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time, man.
It has.
Dude,
probably-
you know, you came in here. It changes every so often, man. But you know, I love having you guys in here in person.
Yep.
Because it's just a little more.
The conversations are better.
Yeah,
It's a little more intimate, and then I like it. So we're looking like the Joe Rogan podcast very soon, man.
Let's not go that far.
Let's blow this thing up. Though.
We gotta get your shirt behind you because as people can see, I'll let you see over here because that is us right now. You know, your shirt look great back there.
I gotta get you a couple. We got a couple shirts now too. We don't just have that one. I got this one on. We got this one, which is like that one, a different color. Then I got a red one that's out and a black one. So I got to get you the black one, which is really cool. So
as I mentioned to Connor, I said this is like one of my favorite shirts, and it has like the pit stains on it because I mean, you know, you wear it all the time. I mean, it fits great and it looks great, and it's representing a fucking killer fighter, man.
Appreciate that, man.
Dude,
Thank you.
You know, before we get into the contender and shit like that, and you know, how's everything been going? Like training, life, everything. It's been a couple of months.
Yeah, it's been I think it's like 10 weeks, maybe like 9 or 10 weeks since my fight, and it's been good. Obviously, it's been a complete change of pace of what I'm used to because I'm used to going 1,000 miles per hour and training and sparring, and after my fight, obviously took some damage, so they pulled my coaches pulled the reins back. Like they're not letting me do shit. Like sparring wise in the gym. I just started getting back into rolling. I just started getting back into just like moving around and working out again. And so for me, it's really hard to not train a lot.
And you do it as a full-time job too. It's like, you know, training people and getting in there with these, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Teaching, training, and, you know, or just helping out my friends when they're getting ready for fights as well. So it's like, if I'm not getting ready for a fight, I'm trying to usually help my friends out. So yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit of a change of pace. I can't get in there like I like to. So, but I'm itching already. Like, like that itch is real. So it's like, you know, it's good. And one thing I've noticed, like on my time, I'm doing a lot of watching now, going to the gym and just watch other guys. And I just think that like, I really think that there's a new wave of kids coming up that are just so good and so much better, which is going to be good for me to push myself even harder. I was just at the gym at Lausanne's yesterday, on Saturday, watching the sparring, all the Triforce kids that are coming down. That kid from Red Seal, I forget his name, but another kid.
Sean Schubert?
Not Sean Schubert.
Mike White?
But yeah,
Mike, the young kid,
the young kid.
Yeah.
He was real good. There's just like all these kids. I don't know if you knew Carlos Azoya. I was watching him spar. Dan Walsh getting ready. It's like all these guys. Andrew Valdina's getting ready. There's so many people fighting in this cage science fight on October 29th, and I'm just looking at all these guys, and I'm like, damn, the level's rising. You know what I mean? So it's been really cool to watch and see these guys get ready.
You know, you really can't get into, you know, their training camp in
No.
that right now. But are you going to be a little, giving them some looks? But are you going to be in corners? Are you going to be? I would imagine you're going to be. Are you going to be part of Cage Titans? You're going to be mostly helping the team out. What do you think your role is going to be that night?
I'm going to try to help the team out as much as I possibly can. I was holding pads and I was coaching Valdina a lot, but like with my fight, I kind of had to. I couldn't do it as much because I was focusing on my fight. Mm-hmm. So my buddy Pete has been holding pads for
Pete
Valdina, Pete Luciani, who's an awesome guy too. So I kind of taking a step back from not from like helping my guys out, but from coaching and. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely there. I'm gonna be trying to help my guys out as much as possible. I think now, I get cleared on Friday. Get my I had a broken nose and stuff, so I get cleared to get back in there, and hopefully they'll let me start sparring again pretty soon.
That was my next question. You mentioned, you know, the coaches management pulled it. Hey, let's go. What did you come out with? I mean, was it mostly outer, or did you have any like you know, a broken bone here or anything that we didn't see that night?
There was nothing that besides my nose and like the stitches and stuff, which was just like cosmetic. I don't think that was really that big of a deal. But there's like little nagging things I've had going on through camps that I just was putting off, like just small stuff like toes, shoulders, like nothing that's really bad. That's gonna really, but there's stuff that I'm just like, all right, I have an opportunity now. I don't need to fight for 4-6 months. So I was like, I need to let all those little things heal up, and you can't do that when you're just pushing yourself in the gym. So yeah, it was just little stuff, nothing serious. Main thing though is the head, right? We don't know, like we're starting to understand that how bad CTE and concussions and all that stuff can be. And like if you look at guys like Max Holloway, and like they don't even, he says he doesn't even spar. So it's like, it's like you don't need to spar all the time. You need to spar to get yourself ready for the fights. So like in between that time, I need to let my head heal up. Like there's no rush to getting rocked. And that's the thing. Even though it's not even sparring, it's like rolling. Like I don't know how many times I've been rocked. Probably more just doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
right?
knee here, something.
By accident, the elbow
exactly.
comes across your face and across your jaw. So you kind of have to like. But I hate that. I mean, it's hard not to. I get the itch. I want to train the whole time, but. Yeah. So yeah, I've been, I think that's their main concern is protecting my head, and which is fine. You know what I mean? I've been doing this stuff for a long time. So if I need to get ready, I'll be able to get myself back ready and back into the sparring stuff, and I'll be okay. So
excellent, man. Well, it's glad to see you ready to get back on. And you said you're getting cleared next week, or what's that exactly mean as far as cleared?
So I know I have to get cleared by the doctors to even. So right now with Nevada, but it's just Nevada, I'm like suspended for 6 months or whatever it is. So with the UFC for a while, say if a short notice fight came up, something in the UFC, I'm not even be able to get cleared. So I have to get cleared with my doctors here, and then they'll be able to clear me for a fight after that. So I just got to go to an ENT doctor, which is ears, nose, and throat, get my nose cleared. Concussion protocols, that's just like an in-house team kind of thing we're going to go over. We're just like, lay back on the sparring, but we're getting there. We're almost there. I think I'll start moving around. Like this weekend, I did a little bit of moving around with some people, not hard sparring, but like, sparring with some girls and sparring with like Valdina, just like moving around, warming them up.
Who's over there watching you, making sure you, keep it to around a 5?
I got my coaches there. Exactly. They're all like,
because Valdina, I mean, he's getting ready for a fight. I mean, if you're coming at me, Connor, I gotta.
I'm the warm-up guy right now. I warm them up before they get into their hard rounds.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah. No, I got my coaches over there. Danny Savory's has been a huge help, and he was my corner for me in my last fight. So I like to see he's traditionally a jiu-jitsu guy, but he is actually, before, everybody doesn't really know this, but before Danny was a jiu-jitsu guy, he was a kickboxer. Like I know a lot of like the old school guys knew him as a kickboxer for his jiu-jitsu guy. So he's really into coaching, and he's really into the MMA thing. So he's been a bigger part. He's been showing up to Lozon's on Saturday, and he's been helping us run practices and structuring it to be more like, I feel like we've done things a certain way, and I think that like the game's evolving, so we need to keep up with the times with the MMA stuff and focus on like being able to use the bodies, like all the Triforce guys been coming up, like John Duma, Dion, and on all those guys, and it's like it's been good. Like those guys there's some killers coming.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's just like we're seeing some stuff right now, but I think there's going to be another wave where a lot of these New England guys will start breaking out and doing big things.
Yeah, getting on a steady pace of fights, and that's when you're going to see them, and that's when fucking Duma, a couple of wins in Bellator, he's on a winning streak now,
and like you know what I mean.
He likes to fish.
He does like to fish. But you can say that, but he's always in the gym. He's always training. He's always ready. He's a 35er, and like he's strong as hell. Mm-hmm. Like he helped me out for like a lot of my fights. A couple of these fights I was supposed to have that I didn't have. I was using him to get my rounds with, and he's a weight class below me, and he was giving me freaking good work. And he's all things. He's a wrestler. He's good at jiu-jitsu. He's good at boxing. He's a fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he's a good dude too. You know what I mean? Good dude to have in the gym, and I mean he's a quiet guy. Not in the gym, but just in social media and stuff like
he's
that.
He's very quiet. And there's kind of like that element that's kind of frustrating. I feel like just like I got lucky. I got a lot of my fans through like the military thing. So it looks like I'll have a lot more fans. But I tell you what, I post a fight picture, I get like 10 likes, and I post a military picture, everybody goes crazy.
Yeah, isn't it? But
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I'm starting to build my fan base, bigger through my fighting itself. But it's like I feel like a lot of guys, that's the struggling part. It's like they need to let's say like Randy Costa is really good at this. He's really good at promoting himself, getting him off on he's really good. Like I remember back when he was fighting Cage Titans, that place was I haven't seen it like that since.
Exactly.
It was wild. So I think that there's a lot of these really, really talented local guys. Unfortunately, it's a big part of the
They're
game.
not a Randy Costa
It's
who
a big
can,
part of the game is to promote themselves the right way. But I think they'll start emerging, and people are going to start seeing how good they are. So
down the line, and you know, I know, their significant others or whatever, probably have careers of their own, but it's always cool to have like a woman by your side or a friend, that can help you out with that social media stuff, and you know what I mean.
Exactly.
It's big, and a lot of these fighters, they don't ask or they don't.
I'm not even that good at it, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like.
But you don't need to be.
Yeah,
I mean, once you get, you could throw a picture or a clip of your fight, and there's so many apps on your phone that you can make. You can make a little clip in like 30 seconds. I mean, dude, you got like 12,000 or so followers on Instagram now, and I mean, the reach and they're true followers because everything you post on there is like fucking major hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm lucky. I like and it's me. It's the military companies and stuff and this the special operations community is pretty small. Like even if you think I was like how many signed fighters are in the UFC? There's like 600 or something like that, right? I know when I was going to be a combat controller, there's only 500 combat controllers. So it's like, I'm comparing sizes of community. And so like everybody in the special operations knows somebody who knows somebody. So like say like, and a lot of these guys, they get out and they start these really big companies like Black Rifle Coffee and all this. So it's like, if I know somebody who's a part of that, so like they'll post up my stuff and that helps me get a whole bunch of followers and stuff like that. So I was lucky, but I also put all the hard work in to make myself a combat controller. And I went through 2.5 years of suffering and training hard and doing everything I had to do to put myself in that, and that helped me out later on in my fight career. So
and you're still putting in that time for the people you represent. You know what I mean? You're still giving back, and
I truly
huge.
They helped me out, like, especially my last fight. My Combat Control Association, they held me out like tenfold for my last fight. They helped me because even fighting for like sponsorships. When you fight in the Contender Series, I can't get a banner up with like a whole bunch of sponsorships. It's like $500 for that sponsorship, and that helps me out, like even more than ticket sales, depending on where I'm going. That's how I make my money. And trust me, I'm not bringing a lot of this money home. This money is just literally going into my camp. So the Combat Control Association, they helped me out. They donated like $10K for my last fight, and that was like a huge help. So I can just focus on fighting. So
and 10K goes into like supplements, coaches. They got to fly out. I mean, I don't know what the UFC gives you, but you might have to get another coach or two to come with you that they don't allow.
Yep. And exactly. And my coaches weren't even asking money to pay. They're just like, I was just like, pay for a hotel. Yeah. And they were not even like Danny and Jake Manini, all these, like my coaches, they weren't even asking for extra money. Which really they should. But it's expensive. It's a really hard sport. I mean, people don't realize that if anybody's out there listening and a local fighter, like hook up your guy, like help them out, because it's like it's not like other sports where everything's in one spot. These guys have to go to different gyms. You go to a Muay Thai gym, you go to a jiu-jitsu gym, you go to a strength and conditioning, and we're getting to the point in the sports where you have to have all those elements to even compete. Yeah. And not even at professional, amateurs. So it's like it's a grind, man. And this sport is definitely a grind, but I love it, and I think a lot of these other guys do too. So it's like, it's definitely a grind. Figuring that shit out.
You're definitely one of those guys that are, the younger generation, and even guys now and that are veterans can learn from trying to market themselves. And, pick up the phone, get an app on there. And InShot. I use InShot for that's one of my apps. I put most of my interviews together with on my phone. Yeah. Once I record them here, I throw them my phone and I screw around with them. So dude, you could do anything. I don't even have an iPhone. Forget if you have an iPhone. You can make a motion picture with that thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Crazy. Yeah. So you mentioned you're getting cleared next week, and I would imagine 2022 is out.
Probably
2023. Yeah. Well, there's not much. I mean, there's only a couple more cards anyway.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's nothing too much.
I think CES has one. They just announced it. I think November or I don't know what happens in December. I think everyone kind of shuts it down. Maybe the first week of December or something.
I think I'm going away this December with my family as well, so it's like it's okay. It's gonna be hard for me to fight the rest of this year, so that's fine. But 2023. I'm hoping to get some guys together. I know Nate Garib, me and him have been training a lot together. He's been a great training partner for me. Carlos is fighting in the end of October. He's right on the verge, man. This dude's 100. He fights at 125 pounds, and he's beating the crap out of me. And like jiu-jitsu wise, like he's so good. There's so like, and I feel like we just got to get this team together of all these New England guys. We together in the same room, the same time to drill with each other constantly. Yeah, that's the only difference I see in New England compared to these other parts in the country. Is like Vegas. It's pretty small. You can go to them like they can cross train. Everybody can go to the UFC Apex and cross train with each other or Extreme Couture or something. Florida's got ATT and Stanford, or I think it's rebrand to Kill Cliff, whatever it is, but. I think New England, we have this weird thing where we have these little towns and states everywhere. So it's like we have good guys, but we need to get these guys to train with each other in bigger groups consistently and stop. I mean, it's okay to train with each other, but we need to go New England versus other parts of the country. And that's what I'm hoping that's what I want to do next year is I want to get the best guys that we possibly can, put the egos in all the fights that we've had in the past with each other, which we have, like Nate Garib's training with Tom Pags and, guys that these top level guys, put us all in the same room and just consistently train together to push all of us together. And then we can start fighting other regions.
I mean, that happens in little
it's
spots.
Starting happening.
I mean, Triforce and Lausanne's. I know Triforce has a big Wednesday night.
They do,
people can go spar there as far as, if you really, you just can't walk in and go fucking spa there on a Wednesday night. That's like, but Lausanne on a Saturday, I believe. I mean, absolutely. And then there's heavy jiu-jitsu days for certain gyms where everyone goes in there and high level guys kill each other. Yeah. But as you said, these guys stop beating each other up in the region and just like take over. Yeah. You mentioned Nate Garib. That dude. I mean, he can get a immediate, title shot again. You know what I mean? A rematch with that title shot.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
That was. There's so many fighters in that clan you talk about. John Duma waiting for him to come out. Dion's all them crazy guys.
He's looking real. Dion's watching Dion spar this big. He's looking good. Another guys, dude, is Lakeville guys. We have Miguel and Jack Condit. Yeah. Man. Like they're looking wicked good too. Like there's like so many. Like I said, there's just so many local guys right now that like I see the bar just raised up. So I'm excited to see what they do.
And Condit making his pro debut.
Condit's making his pro debut. Miguel is going through knee surgery right now. He's gonna be back probably within a couple months. And he just fought. I think he's got like. He got a Muay Thai title. He's got
he's doing it everywhere.
Title. He's So it's been
good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
So,
well, let's talk about. We're gonna go to your Instagram and look at stuff in a little while, but let's get back to the Contender, man. It was the second week, right?
Yep.
It was Dana was pissed off the first week. Yep. Nothing fucking happened.
Yep.
And then the second week, people had to go in there and put it all on the line there, and you did, dude.
Yep.
I mean, let's talk about the experience leading. I mean, you had a lot of vlogs and stuff leading up to it, which is cool and stuff. Man, what was the experience like? You were there. I mean,
it was.
What's that feel like?
I loved it. Like I really, really loved the whole fighting on that stage experience. Like the UFC is so professional, and like the vibe you get. Like there's somebody who has a job there, and they're just everybody's really good at their job and really, really like helpful. And it was really comfortable. Like when I got there, like you show up, you sign in, you get your paperwork good. You have some guy who briefs you on what he shows you around the hotel, and it was just everything was really, really. It was a great experience. My fight camp going into it, like. That's why, like, this fight, like, I hate losing. That was rough losing and everything, but, like, I did everything I possibly could, I feel like, in my training camp, so I'm not mad at myself. I don't think there's anything, I didn't leave any stones unturned, you know what I mean? So, and then even the fight week, there's some things where I screwed up for sure. Traveling. It's my first time really traveling. And
all right, now traveling, did you go by yourself
no.
to leave at first?
No, I had my team with me. I had Danny Savory. I had Jake Manini. I didn't have Joe with me on this fight camp. He was training for the Donald Cerrone fight, so he was kind of a big portion of my camp, he was preoccupied with that stuff. So I didn't want to like, bother him while he was getting ready for the Donalds, which ended up not happening. But so there was that. And then, but then I had my guy, Ian Gray. He's my business manager guy. He helps me out. He's the guy who did all these vlogs for me.
Guy with the hair, long hair
long
guy?
hair.
Yeah,
beard.
yeah, I
He's
see
a
him
great
at the
kid.
shows all the time, yeah.
He gets, so he's wicked. I mean, the kid's good with the camera. He's really good. and he helps me out with all my shirt sales and like all this stuff that I suck at. I used to sell my own shirts. I was like, forget people, send the wrong addresses. I'm like,
you probably paying more money because everyone owes you money. You're giving them money. Yeah,
I was losing money doing it, and he helps me out with a lot of that stuff, and like he did a really good job, I think, with those vlog videos. We kind of stole Joe Lozon does those. We kind of stole that idea from him, but he did a really good job.
Everyone does them, though. You know what I mean? It's like.
And then, so like I like that whole thing was great. Where I kind of screwed up is as I was having trouble sleeping when I was in Vegas, and I don't know exactly what it was. If it was the time difference of getting over there, and like, I was really like from this fight camp, I was really had this routine thing in for every single day of like waking up at the same time. I listened to Andrew Huberman, who's he's on Joe Rogan podcast. He has his own podcast. He's a scientist. He's a professor at Stanford, and I've been listening to a lot of his stuff about like how to like get your sleep really good and like waking up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, and so you set your like circadian rhythm and all this stuff. And I think that kind of went against me because I got myself in such a good routine and a rhythm when I traveled.
Yeah, that's a big really time difference too, right? Well, 3 hours or so, right?
Yeah, it was 3 hours, which is not bad. And I used to travel all the time when I was in the military, and I never had trouble. I had never had trouble sleeping going until like when I was in the military. I was never home, so I was like travel here. I could sleep in any hotel ever, so it was never really an issue. But some reason when I went out there to Vegas, and I don't, it wasn't nerves because like usually I'm like, you get those like fight jitters and stuff like that. I just didn't feel like I had them as much, and so I was like, I can't say it was nerves. I don't know what it was, but I definitely had trouble sleeping for like 2 of the 4 days I was out there. I finally got some good sleep on fight night.
Now, when you're out there and you can't get sleep, I mean, everything's at your disposal as far as like, can you talk to someone? Hey, listen, I can't sleep, or
I mean,
like,
I couldn't blame it. It's on me. It's like, I mean, like I had my curtains shut in my hotel room. You know what I mean? But like, I think it was like we stayed in this hotel casino, and like anytime I'd go out down in like the hallways, there was like a lot of smoke in the. There's a lot of smoke in the thing, which kind of was weird for me. And like, there's a lot of. I'm not trying to find excuses. I'm just trying to think of things in the future of how I can fix these issues. Like these are things I didn't know unless I did it. You know what I mean? Like it's like I never had these fights, so I need to fix it next time I travel or do I fight. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure exactly what it was, but yeah, I definitely had some trouble sleeping.
Well,
a couple days before
it's
my
the
fight.
biggest fighting moment of your life, man. Is there's a lot on the line. The week before, they're looking for crazy.
So like, when I didn't get my hydration drinks like I usually do, which kind of screwed me up. I thought the UFC was gonna give us hydration drinks, but they didn't because it's not the UFC. It's Contender Series. Usually the UFC they give you hydration drinks. Yeah. So I had like nothing. Like I didn't have my normal way of hydrating, and I cut a pretty good amount of weight. I mean, I cut down from. I walk around 165.
You're
I
like,
fight.
Hey, where's the refrigerator over there?
we kind of did our own makeshift rehydration drinks, and then on fight day. I usually walk into the cage 165 pounds, and I was like 152, which is not a lot. I didn't put on nearly as much weight on, I weighed myself on fight day. I didn't put on nearly as much weight, which you can say all the things I'm saying is that he dealt with the same adversity I did, but he's 23. I'm 30. Mm-hmm. You can recover. When I was 23, I could go partying all night and then show up and be fine the next morning. When you're 30, it's like, so there's like little things like that I know next time. I think if I was going to go out there, I wouldn't do the 4 days. I'd go out there, I'd get an Airbnb and I'd stay out there for 10 days before my fight, make sure I get on this right rhythm and get a hotel room, or get a Airbnb that's like not connected to the hotel. So I don't have to worry about all that stuff. So just little things. I wouldn't know unless I did it though. So it is what it is. So
excellent. Well, as far as the fight itself, bro, showed massive heart in there. I mean, we had a fight companion that night, a live fight companion. dude, as far as the fight itself, well, you already felt a little off from everything, man. How'd you feel in the fight? I mean, actually fighting, I'm sure you shut everything out that was going on around you. I mean, there's not much of a crowd there, but, how'd you feel in there fighting, you're in front of Dana White?
Yeah, there was a little bit of that, a little bit of like, all right, shit, this is real. I'm fighting in that Apex arena that I watch all the time on TV. I look behind me. Dana White is sitting right behind me. But I honestly felt like, I'm not scared. I didn't feel scared. If anything, I felt too calm and relaxed, which was kind of weird. That's one thing. I was just, sometimes I get pumped up and by like getting ready for a fight. And one thing, it was kind of weird. Like usually, when I warm up, I'm warming up around other fighters, and I can almost like when they're nervous, it kind of makes me nervous. So I can like see all the other guys getting nervous to go out. But this time I warmed up in like my own little warm up room. So it was really weird. I was like in this little room, nobody was, it was just me and my coach just hitting pads. Yeah. Then you walk out, and then all of a sudden you're on the stage to fight. And it was just like, I was like oddly calm and relaxed. That's the one thing I remember. But the fight, it was what it was. I mean, he was good. He that takedown he had in the I think it was the end of the first round, or maybe I think it was the end of the first round. He got me with a good takedown, and he was pretty good. I feel like there's things I should have changed up in my game. I feel like I could have offensively grappled him a little bit more, though. Even though he took me down, I didn't think he could hold me down. I feel like I could just keep fighting back up to my feet, and I feel like if I would have just pushed instead of we had our game plan was we thought my striking was going to be a lot better. Like his striking was way better than what I expected. From all the film and everything we watched on this kid, I thought I was going to have a huge advantage in my striking game. We were wrong, and he was good.
Yeah, he was.
Kid, and those New Jersey, New York, in that area, they have a lot of good boxers. So he's probably getting good boxing work with those guys out there, and I definitely, he's beating me with the jab. But we kept on, like, instead of changing our game plan through the game in the middle of the fight, which has got to be something we do as a professional fighter. You can't just like, this is what we planned. We got to keep going. I know you got to change it up. And I just feel like he was getting me with the jab, and he was beating me with the jab. His wrestling was pretty good, but like he couldn't hold me down. He took my back at one point, but I got out of it pretty easily. I thought it wasn't like I feel like guys on my back and like, oh fuck, you're fucked. And no, he was all right. I mean, I got out of it, and I should have switched up. I think I should have I have a lot more creativity generally when I fight. We're in better movement. I got better kicks. For whatever reason, it just wasn't coming out the way it usually does. And he might have just been better that day. You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to say that. Maybe he was, right? He was just in the zone with his hands. You know what I mean? So.
Some days fighters have those nights, man.
Well, one big thing about the fight, Dana had so many praises about that fight. I think they gave 5 contracts, him including. Yeah. So, I mean, one of you guys were getting a contract from that fight. He came, he said, about the fights that everyone performed. Even this fight could have been on
any pay-per-view,
anything
or whatever.
I mean, you have it here. Let me get I won't get flagged for this garbage, but. This ain't garbage, but let me see. Let's play. Where's the one?
I guess out of all these, I mean, like you said, 5 contracts given, 5 outstanding performances. But did any of them stand out to you to the point where you're like, above the others? Like, that's somebody I got circled for superstardom.
Listen, tonight was all about coming in and performing. I think everybody performed tonight at a level that the Marshall fight. I think that that could have been a fight on any pay-per-view prelim, and people would have loved it. So both guys were tough. Both guys wanted it. Neither guy wanted to give up or quit, and Marshall looked incredible tonight. So I think everybody, if you had to say, been incredible.
There you go, man. Dana White.
So that's the and it's one of the I worked with this guy with Mindlock. I was trying to think of his name. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, which is kind of bad. He helped me out a lot for my fight. But we did a lot of like mental training before we went.
Is he on your Instagram here at all?
I think he might be actually where I posted that video you just watched right there.
Yeah.
I might have tagged him in it.
Oh, all right. So if you did, I can
so
go
if you look
find
at it.
Right
Mindlock, yeah.
He's up here somewhere. Where is he?
He's that right there. So Mindlock. We talked about this before.
Yeah,
the fight.
yeah.
So
all right.
exactly,
well, I'll show him right now.
Yeah.
I think I could show him, right? give him some love.
Yeah, so we talked about that. It's like this fight wasn't necessarily. I mean, it's always about winning, right? We always want that win. If that happens, that's great. But this fight wasn't necessarily about winning. It's about going out there and having the best performance that I could have.
So he works with a bunch of fighters.
Yeah, he
right?
works with Ross Levine. He works with like a ton of the guys from Hard Knocks. Like fighting is getting your mental game. And I'll talk about this in a little bit. But like getting your mental is like half the thing. Like you can have all the skills in the world, but if you can't get yourself there on fight night to perform, it doesn't really matter. I know, I'm gonna call him my Jesse Gutierrez is like one of the honestly in the gym. Like, he doesn't like fighting. He just doesn't. He says, I don't like fighting. But he's amazing. Like, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Ask anybody. He's tapping everybody all the time in the gym. His kickboxing is really good. He still helps professional fighters get ready for fights. And he's not even training. And, like, he's phenomenal, but he just is like, I just hate fighting. So it's like, it's not always about, like, are you the best fighter? It's about being... It's not going to be like the best martial artist. It's about, are you a fighter? Can you show up on fight night and be able to perform? And that was the thing. I think in my fight at the like in that another thing, like I did everything I could in the camp. I performed pretty good. I think it could have been better. I honestly think I can beat this kid. I know everybody says that it might be the fighter in me, but I really do think I can beat this kid. And he beat me that night, hands down. Props off to him. I'm actually going to go train with them down in New Jersey.
Oh, cool.
Their camp is Kurt Pellegrino reached out to me after the fight, and he said he even went up to Dana and he goes like, this kid deserves a contract. So I think, like Dana said, like I think if this fight was on any other night they weren't giving out five contracts because they had 5 finishes or 5 good fights, that there would have been a good chance that I would have got a contract. But you know what it is like. Nothing in my life I've ever gotten easy, even in special operations and getting my beret, or on any sports team I played on. Like I wasn't usually generally just like start off being like the star athlete. It's like I always worked my way from the bottom and I worked my way to the top. And I feel like this is just one of those scenarios where like, hey, I ran into some adversity at a high level and I'm going to work myself back. I don't have quit. Like, I think going into this fight, everybody saw me finishing everybody in 30 seconds. I honestly, I fought a couple cab drivers, but like, you know what I mean?
Everyone has.
It is what it is.
It's part of the game.
For some reason, it's part of the game right now. But there's one thing I know about myself and other fighters around will contest is I don't quit. Like I'm a warrior. Like I know that. And so I'm going to come back. I'm going to be better. I'm not going to quit in the fight. That's never going to happen. And I'm not going to quit outside of the fight. This is what I love to do. This is who I am. And I'm going to go out there and show people who I am. And that's not a quitter. So, sorry. That being said,
no, that's awesome, man.
Like, I'm gonna have another shot. I deserve another shot after that performance. If I gotta go through fucking 3 dudes in the local scene, I'll do it. If I gotta go and if I had to wait to Contender Series next year, I'll do another Contender Series fight. If I get a short notice fight, great. I'm just not expecting an easy road anymore for anything. I know I proved I can fight at that level, so I expect to get guys from now on who are gonna be good. There's no more easy fights for me, and so. All those people that are complaining about coming to my fights in the 30-second fight, don't expect that anymore. Expect hard fights, and but I'm going to show you what I'm made of. And Francis was good, so he was able to stay with me. But I still think there's a lot of other guys around here in this local level. They're not going to be able to do what he did.
Well, that was going to be my next question. So, Contender Series just wrapped up last week. What do you need? A tissue?
Tissue, yeah. I got snot saying
You're all good, man. There you go.
COVID.
How are you?
Just kidding. I don't have COVID.
COVID, really? Fuck. So, we just wrapped up with I guess it was the 10th week or whatever. So we're wrapped up till next year.
Yeah.
Gives you time to, get them fights under your belt and stuff. How many fights do you think you need to get? Is it 1 to get back to that Contender Series? And you talked about tough fights, and I want to throw a couple options after you.
Yeah.
How many fights do you think you might need to get back on there? To get back on the bike kind of thing.
I think a 7-1 record is equally as good as a lot of guys in the UFC. I mean, like 7-1, and now I'm fighting. Francis was good, He gave me 2 other decent guys. And like, I mean, that was one of the things the UFC was saying to me like before this was like, we just need to see you fight somebody who's good. And,
Yep.
and we were having trouble. Remember, like I'd show up to fights and then guys would fall out last second, and then they get another guy that. So like, yeah, I think if they see me fight a couple more good guys, I think it could happen. It could even maybe one fight. I mean, like what Dana said, he said this could be a prelim in any UFC fight. That means my skill and ability is there. It's just a matter of going out there and doing it. And so it could be 1, it could be 3,
Well,
it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I want to be the guy who like I don't like to deal with all the picking my fights, and I just like coaches to be like, this is who you're fighting. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they already went through everything, or you know what I mean? They already looked through it, and it's all set. Here we go. Here comes the game plan now. Next day. Let me ask you a question about that. All right, so I mean, with Dana saying, this is could have been a fight on a card already. I mean, once you're well and stuff like that. I mean, and back in. I mean, you could get a call up. Yeah. Or right back on the Contender Series before you even get a local fight. You know what I mean? Possibly. Once you're ready to go and you're out fighting on all throttles and pistons here.
Yeah.
But that one fight around here, dude, man, there's a lot. I mean, you could fight. I mean, Don Shainis just went to the UFC.
Yep.
That belt is up for grabs now. You could come back and fight. I mean, you could come back and fight for a belt there. You can't fight. You could fight for the CES belt also. I mean, there's options for that big fight here to launch you back if you need that. I really don't think you need 2 fights. I think you need one big fucking fight, to show that, hey, I'm back in it and stuff like that. But would a title fight for Cage Titans or CES entice you if that was like thrown on the table and it's ready to go?
Yeah, like I said, I am here. And I'm ready to fight. Like I'm here to fight anybody to prove. Like I got to fight the best guys to prove that where I want to be. And if that's at Cage Titans, if that's at CES, if that's at Cage Wars or whatever it is down in
LFA, CFFC, anything. Yeah.
If whatever fight makes the most sense for me. I don't mind traveling anymore either. I think that's something. It's one, like I said, that was my my downfall was my experience in traveling and fighting. So maybe I need that experience to get a little bit better at that. Because when you're in the UFC, I'm definitely going to be traveling. So yeah, anybody, 45 division, I'm ready to go for that. So.
Excellent.
Yeah,
well,
man.
That's going to be whatever fight you have. I mean, you've already had that taste of UFC. There's no going back to fighting. No. Who they throw. I mean, late notice and you sold 1 million tickets. Someone
falls out
2 hours before. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? You got to fight.
Right.
But, the next fight's going to be showing, I mean, that's going to blast you right back off. So, unless they pick you up before that, which is a possibility too, man.
We'll see.
Well, I got Lozon's here right now. And like you said, you're just watching them spar right now. But how excited are you to watch these guys to get back in there? It's what, 3, when is it? The end of October, 29th, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I'm really excited to see Valdina. I think he's grown a lot in the last little while with his fight. Like Valdina took tough fights. He's all like, I'm going to say it. I think the amateurs right now, a lot of times have better fights than some of the local pro fights.
Better matchups.
Because there's none of this trying to pick their fights to win, keep their records clean and nice. Is like they're 2 studs that are coming out. These young kids that are coming out and they're good. I've seen a lot. Just that last Cage Titans show I was watching was a bunch of really good fights. So yeah, I think that a lot of these guys are gonna be right behind me. And getting the shot next year, the year after, Contender Series. Like I want to see what Jack Condit does this year.
He's just a specimen.
He's a specimen. He's athletic. Running sprint. He's a hard worker too. I think that's one of the biggest key. I always say like to be a good fighter, you have to have 3 qualities. We talked about this. You have to be you have to have at least one of these 3, right? It's being the martial artist, so you're like the technician of learning the actual skills of being a martial artist. There's the fighter in you, like if you are a fighter, and then there's the athletic ability. And I feel like Jack has got He's a fighter. He's a tough kid. He's a hard worker. He's a martial artist. I've been training with the kid since he's 12 years old. You know what I mean? Since he was a young kid, he's been at this for a long time, and he's got the athletic ability. That's another one, Joe Poirier.
125, dude. How
It's a
the
savage
frick?
one.
He just won. He just won the Cage Wars flyweight. Where am I going?
Oh, that's Travis Demko, Mike Bolger.
Yeah.
Wait till you see these guys.
Travis is back. He had a little injury or something. He was
injury. He's coming back from. Dude, I'm watching. He's hurt still. He's another one of those guys, just a freaking absolute savage. Like he died. He got in a car crash and died. Now he's
fucking
back
nuts.
After it. And Mike Bolger, his hands are absolutely ridiculous. Like there's so much good talent that actually fight out of New England. You know what I mean? These are local New England fighters, and they're about to within this next 2 years. Yeah, you're gonna see an explosion on the scene of some really high level guys coming up out of here. So I'm excited to see that.
Excellent. Well, let's talk about a couple of fighters that fought last night.
Yeah.
And then I'll jump on the Cage Titans page for a couple of minutes, and then we'll end out, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I got no rush. Got no place to be.
All
I
right.
only watch
So
football.
Randy Costa last night, man.
Rough.
Dude, I thought that fight was like when Chris Motino fought him, I'm like, that's a fight to blast Chris off.
Yeah.
Not to put anything down on a dude that was, I mean, he was 41 or 4 at that point. I'm like, this is Chris Motino's chance. This is probably his guy's last fight on his contract.
That dude's a savage.
He is. He's fucking
you say what
good.
you want. Say what you want about the guy, but he's a good martial artist. He's. I mean, I don't know how long he's been training, but he doesn't. He looks young. He's 41, but he doesn't look like he's 41 for sure. Dude, there's a lot of these. That's what I'm saying. Like this MMA game, there's a lot of guys right now who are like in their 40s fighting in the UFC, which is freaking crazy. I mean, it sucks. I mean, Randy took a bat. He got kicked out, and then the guy took his back and got his choke in real fast. And sometimes that happens. I would like to see that fight if Randy was able to keep it go longer in the later rounds. If he since that guy is a little older, maybe he would have gassed out and Randy was throwing those kicks. But it's tough for Randy because I was watching all Randy's last fights leading up, especially the Cage Titans fight, and there's he has a couple of beautiful knockouts and good stuff he's done. So but that guy was a good fighter. He took out Chris and he took out Randy.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's no joke now, and now he's probably the UFC is high on him a little bit now. Now we can run with a guy of older guy, because usually you see it on heavyweights that are in the upper years.
Yes.
But this dude's he's a fucking bantamweight over there, and he just.
I know.
Took out 2 of our guys, dude,
Yeah,
and 2 different ways too.
I know.
Like, holy shit, 2 good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was good.
So, no bringing him down, but Jesus, somebody go get him. Who's going after this guy next out of here?
He gets
John Duma. Send John Duma after him.
Out there. That'd be a good fight. Give Carlos. Carlos might be able to do pretty good, even though he's a 25er. He can fight 35ers. But no, there's. I think we'll see. We'll get one of our guys up there to take him out. I was talking to Don. Don was like literally like he's like well, that was the most anticlimactic UFC debut ever in the history. And he's like I was like, I'm just laughing about it now. So it's like, hey, that guy is like number 12 he's number 12 in the world. And,
7 UFC fights or so. It's like
he's an absolute savage, and Don took it short notice, and so. It is what it is, you know what I mean? To work on what he's got to work on.
He was supposed to fight the guy that Calvin fought.
Yeah.
When that guy, the guy Calvin fought was, in a top 10 or top 5 or something.
Yeah, Giga, whatever.
And all of a sudden, Don comes in out of making his debut, and Don did them a favor. I mean, as far as they needed someone to come in.
Yeah.
Don's got a great record. He's on a huge fighting streak. He's got a couple of... Don took the fight. I'm sure that fight was thrown to a bunch of other people. And I've seen fighters in the past, take a fight and they're in the door, and now he gets to train properly for. Exactly.
He got his foot in the door. Now it's just his time to get. And he's working at Glory, and I know he's got a lot of good guys up there. So and Don is good at MMA. He makes his fight a scrap. He's a tough freaking kid. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he's gonna. He'll bounce back from this. You know what I mean? he's another one of these guys. He's not a quitter. He got caught in that guillotine. So it happens, man.
It is weird. And you know what? I mean, the guy is not a submission guy. I mean, and then so Don was going at where he thought he could probably take this guy out.
Yeah.
Bring him down and let me grab. And
he does train underneath. He's a black belt, I believe.
At that point, he just didn't have any submissions. You know what I mean? Listen to the commentary, things that we don't know. They were saying something about, Don might have had a rough weight cut. I don't know how they know that. Maybe in the interviews and stuff like that.
Well, I know I was watching the stream for people to weigh in, and then and I know how it works when I was there. Don weighed in a little bit later. I mean, he made weight, but he probably had like you said, he's gonna be a big cut. But Don was telling me before the fight, it's gonna be a pretty big cut, but I'm gonna do it. So yeah, sometimes those big cuts like that will drain you, and you're just not mentally there. And you're not peaked and ready to go for the fight. So I think you give Don he'll get us another shot, good full fight camp, come in there. He made a little bit of money. You know what I mean? At least he made $12,000.
And now he's in the UFC and he gets another shot at it. He could win $50,000, or he could definitely win that fight, make 30 or whatever
Exactly.
So he's where he wants to be.
Yeah.
It just took him, it would have been cool if Don got on the Contender Series or he got a real contract. Hey, got him a matchup a couple of months down the road. I actually think they asked him to fight this guy 2 or 3 weeks ago when his initial opponent fell out, and Don's like, I need more time.
Yeah.
I can't get out of the gym and fight at 145 right away, So his whole training camp was cutting weight.
Yes,
basically.
Exactly. And that's the thing for like all fighters. I feel like a lot of people. He's got my shirt on right there.
Fuck yeah.
It's like, for me, I know it's like I don't even want to think about taking fights until I know I'm already in weight making. You know what I mean? So it's like that's a big part of this game. That's why this game is really hard. Is like you got to be ready to make weight when they ask you to make weight. And like right now, I'm not ready to make weight because I know I got a couple of months. But when I'm ready to go, I'm always ready to go. Like I'm 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out from making weight, and if I need to. So I think that's like other younger fighters out there. It's like that's the biggest thing about when you're fighting pro to get your shot. It's just like always be ready to go and to be able to make weight. At least 3 weeks. 3 weeks from
you got to be in that
because that's how you get your opportunities. Like luck is when opportunity meets preparation, and he did it. He made it this way. That he was ready to go, but he was get fed to the walls a little bit. But hopefully he'll get another shot, more, a matchup that makes a little bit more sense, and he can grow and get better from there. So
excellent, man. I hope so.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we know he's getting another fight.
Yeah.
So, Randy Costa, tough break for him.
But hey, he had 2 finishes and
exactly.
He knocked out in the TD Garden, like
mad fan base too.
Yeah.
So, he's not going anywhere fast. What else? Oh, Cage Titans. Let's go there really quick because you got a lot of friends fighting on there. There's other cards coming up too. I don't know if many of your guys are on them, like Neff. You guys don't travel all the way to fuck up Maine, even though it's a great. Maybe Combat FC's got some shit going on, but a lot of their fighters are, veterans. You know what I mean, or kind of new to the game.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah.
And they're only second card out there, so they'll get some of those.
One guy, as we were just talking about earlier, is Sean Schubert. I love that guy.
Is he? Do you see him somewhere?
No, I was just thinking about him. But he's a savage. Because you were talking about Maine. I know he just did a random kickboxing fight. Like every single other weekend, you hear like Sean Schubert just do some fight somewhere else where he's hitting spinning freaking elbows and knocking people out.
Who's that? Zach?
Is that Zach? Yeah.
He's the main event. Correct?
Who is he fighting?
Who the fuck is he fighting? I don't know. I should know this. Right there.
That is. Who's that guy? I've seen him before. Lacey.
Yeah, Aaron Lacey.
Aaron Lacey. Yep.
And Aaron, I mean, kudos to him going back to Cage Titans. Didn't he? He lost against Cupcakes. He was supposed to fight Peter Barrett.
Yep.
and something happened with that. Cupcakes jumped in.
Yeah.
Maybe Peter couldn't. Something happened. Maybe injury or something.
Yeah.
And then
always getting hurt these days.
in Cupcake, training hard, man.
Yeah.
And then Cupcakes came in. I think he
Oh man.
finished him or cut him open, broke something on him. So, and now he's back to take on another fucking killer. Kudos to friggin' Aaron.
Jeff Joy, Will Smith. That should be a good one coming up. That should be a real good fight.
Oh, that's right. We're getting into more posters and shit. They're doing great things. There's Valdina right there.
Yep.
Doing fucking great media shit for them.
Yeah, Valdina's good. I don't know if he made that, but Valdina's always good at making these videos.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, who's making these videos? Right? I was talking to him last night.
This kid's good too. I think he trains with Kyle.
That kid's good. I watched him,
and he's good. Phil's good
warm
too,
up
man.
last
I think
fight,
he's
yeah.
1-1 now. So all
That's these are amateurs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. These amateur kids. I noticed in that last cage Titans. I thought they were a lot of them looked really good. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, they do. There's your boy.
Oh yeah. Dan, and then Ash. I don't really know too much about this kid. Ash looks like he's a grappler, judging by his ears. They're pretty funny.
I've seen him a couple of times at Cage Titans. I don't remember who he's fought.
I think he fought Miguel. Actually, he fought Miguel, and they went the distance with Miguel. So
all right then.
if you go the distance with Miguel
you're
is
a
like
tough
fucking. Miguel just throws, man. He
comes
just
at you.
Comes at you. There you go.
Oh, who's that?
Randy Costa.
Oh, that was when they had highlights of him leaning up. Look at Fuller though. Fuller just fucking with his chin up, ready to just throw.
Yeah.
And think, yeah. Jesus. And then there's some shit right there. What's
age and want to put a show on and want to take each other's heads off. And I know that
he's fighting Marty.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm actually a fan of Marty and I love his fighting style.
I love watching Marty fight.
It's a matchup guaranteed for success.
Marty is another one who recently he's been he fought that really good jiu-jitsu dude. Remember? And that big guy was big. He was like it was like 2 fights ago, and Marty ended up getting submitted by the guy. And so, but since then, Marty just completely changed everything. Was his style of training? He's like, all right, I need to get my jiu-jitsu. So that's all he's been doing. He's been working with Danny like every single night, putting the gi on, just working jiu-jitsu. So that's something I like to see out of guys. This is not practicing things that they know they're good at, because that's what's going to get. It's when they realize a flaw and you got something wrong with them and they fix that, and you go and you work on the things you're not good at. So Marty's doing that right now. So I'm excited to see him on this next fight, because he's been putting in the work, going hard, getting rounds with Tyler Menard. He's been sparring with Tyler a lot, and
Tyler's ready to make his amateur debut at some time.
I understand. Nobody wants to fight. I wouldn't want to fight that kid too.
Yeah, especially
so good.
Him
man.
coming in for the first time.
Unbelievable.
He's way beyond his years, because he's been training with all you friggin' people for so long. So
I don't know. He came in good. I remember I was because he's like he just came to the. I didn't even know he existed. He just came to the gym one day, and I think Joe was gone. I was teaching class, and he walked in, and I was just like, I could just tell he's like, oh, this guy looks like he knows what he's doing. I roll. I'm like, where did you come from? Like, who are you? And he's like, when it comes to jiu-jitsu, he's working his striking a lot right now. He's so good. Like, I don't know. Like, I think he should just compete in 80cc and stuff. He's like that good at jiu-jitsu. So I'm excited to see. Carlos is fighting, and then for Fury down in the 29th of October, I believe it too. So that should be a big fight. So everybody at the gym is like got fights. October is going to be a big month.
This is not beer, by the way.
It's okay.
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke. I know. I wish Carlos fought local more. He doesn't, because he's been fighting Fury. He's just trying to get that UFC contract. But he's been training local. He trains at US MMA. He trains at Lausanne's. He coaches at Lakeville MMA. That's another thing I was thinking. So like John Morando is like where where Miguel and I and Jack grew up is like. one of the guys I look up to the most because he's like unbelievable with teaching these kids and like making kids into like there's like if you notice all these Lakeville kids, they
Animals.
Right there.
And when they, animals in the
they all have the same not never quit attitude and just like they. And it's like it all comes from like John Morando. He trains their mind and makes these kids into like savages.
They got an Instagram page?
They do. I know they just started a new one because I was running the old one, and then they told me to take it down.
Do you know what it's called?
It's just at the Lakeville.
Oh, there it is.
Lakeville
MMA. All right, cool. Let's go check them out.
Like
Give them some love.
So
it's the new one, so there's not much.
But like the combination. So when I went out to Washington, Carlos got over here. That's Carlos Azoya. He got over here because me and him were training at the same gym out in Washington State. I was in the Air Force. He was an Army Ranger, and like when we weren't working, obviously we would train together. And he decided after he got out that him and his wife Carissa were going to move out here to just she's going to Harvard and he's going to just train. So. And the combination between the skill and knowledge that Carlos is bringing with jiu-jitsu and what John Morando and training the mind and making these guys into these tough, I guarantee you in like 10 years, these little kids right here are going to be absolute
Oh, I can friggin'
monsters.
imagine.
I already see it. Like that's going to be a combination for the devastation. Like these kids are going to be savages. So I'm excited to see that in the future.
Excellent. Well, we'll get on our New England MMA page for right now because I just want to show you. See that bell right there? That's a good bell right there.
Yeah, I'll take that. I think I need a belt.
All right, let me ask you. I mean,
I think I need one of those.
Nate. I mean, unless he goes to the Contender Series, I mean, there is no other fight. I don't think for him.
Yeah, he's probably gonna want want to run that one back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna assume.
And talking to Dan won't be. He doesn't want to fight till the new year.
Yep.
So that kind of
lines up perfect for me to fight for
that. That lines up perfect for you. Nate might want to get one in before. I don't know. With CS in November, they're going to be starting to announce that card pretty soon. But fighting Dan, that's an option.
It is a good option.
Then there's You like that option?
Yeah, I do. I think I need that belt. If I leave Contender Series, I come home, get a belt, I'm sitting ready to go again. Yeah, I like that option a lot.
Excellent.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I liked it because if Nate would have won that, before this even hell happened, I was already thinking about it. I was like, Nate would have won, I'm not going to fight Nate. If Don was going to fight, I'm not going to fight Don.
Yeah.
I'm buddies with both those guys. So, yeah.
Excellent.
It's you know what I mean?
And then Cage Titans they can put two studs. I mean, as
Maybe
long as they're not
two.
two New England guys.
Yeah.
Unless it's somebody that's
I'll take two.
not in that crew that you want to make into
I think that's the only options for me now. You know what I mean? Unless we bring some random guy out from another area and this guy just want to fight me or whatever. I think that's the next move for me.
Excellent. Well,
I think it's what I deserve.
We'll be waiting for that next CES date after this card, man.
Yeah.
The new year.
Yeah.
February or so will be cool.
Yep.
February, March.
Yep. That'd
Sounds
be
good to
perfect.
me.
February, March.
I think Dan or Cage Titans will be
My
ready to
career,
make a belt.
I feel like I'm the guy who fights every 6 months, but it is what it is. I'm trying, people. I am. I love to fight.
You got other things. I mean, you got to give the body a rest sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, you were fighting back to back for a while too.
Yeah,
You know,
always trying to fight and always staying in the gym. That's my thing. It's like even if I wasn't fighting, I'm like training like I'm fighting. And there's pros and cons to that. You know what I mean? Like I like sometimes I think like maybe I wasted a lot of that energy in times where I should have been chilling out. But I feel like I took 6 years off of fighting when I was in the Air Force. So there's a lot of ground I needed to make up to get my skill level to where it's at. And right now I think it's good. And now I was just polishing the tools and getting myself ready. And exactly like I had to meet this guy I just fought just to see my downfalls. So now I can fix the things I needed to fix and reattack, come back at it.
exactly. And you have a bunch of time to do it.
Yep.
And that's going to be a huge, huge fight when you come back. The place is going to be like,
Can't wait.
People are going to be reaching out to you. That's
Can't
for
wait,
sure.
yeah.
Not just CFFC, LFA, all them, and that's. I mean,
Yeah.
Good for you.
Appreciate that, bro.
Getting that coming. So, anything you want to, cover before we get out of here? the gym, you still doing all that? What's going on with that?
Yeah, so the gym, unfortunately, I'm subleasing for this from Seaside CrossFit. It was a CrossFit gym. We were about to move to go to a new location. Something fell through with the lease of the new spot. So they're closing doors now, and that's who I was subleasing from. So I think the gym is going to be done for a little bit. I'm not saying that it's completely done, but I think there's a silver lining in it, in the fact that now I can just like, hey, I can focus on fighting now. You know what I mean? I love teaching. I'm still going to try to teach my kids. I got some kids that I've been teaching, and I really love teaching them. They're the most consistent ones I have. You know what I mean? And it's cool to watch something that you're growing from ground up. Like, they came to me, kids with no prior knowledge of even what MMA was, and now I'm teaching these kids, and they're getting better. And so I'm going to try to keep teaching them, figure out which ways. I don't even know if I got to put mats in my basement. Keep that going, but like for overall class, probably not going to be doing that anymore. But like I said, it's better off now, because now I can focus on this next couple of years, three or 4 years of just, accomplishing what I set out to do, and that's be a not just in the UFC, a guy who goes in there, but I want to be a staple in the UFC, and I believe that I can do it. So that's going to be my focus from now on.
Excellent. Well, we all believe you can do it. I mean,
yeah,
you had a great fight. I mean, showed so much in that, and Dana, the UFC, all are on the same page.
Yeah.
So one fight, or just heal up, get back in the gym, and get ready, man. Shit's gonna happen for you. So
yes, sir.
Good for you, man.
Sure.
Shout outs, anyone you want to thank? Is there anywhere I can go to get any of that, or is it just you just want to?
Shout outs.
Is there a banner somewhere?
What do I got? Shout out to, first of all, I just want to shout out to.
Where are we? So I'll go here. Where are we going? I can click on anything you want to.
I don't know if I have my We Go Home, which is a sponsorship. They've been helping me out. Operation Vet Now is that big company that they actually worked a little bit with Cage Titans and stuff. They've been a huge help for me. Nonprofit organization helping out veterans with PTSD. Shout out to all my gyms like Hard Knocks with Jake Manini and all the guys up there. They helped me out huge for my last fight. Danny Savory and all the guys at Danny Savory's, they were a huge help for this fight camp. They were taking, they were gi guys, a lot of them, but they would take off the gis and give me work, and they've been a huge help. Shout out Joe Lozon, what he's done for this New England MMA area, and everything he's done leading up to this point, letting us all work and train at his gym, not charging people on the weekends to come get good work. You know what I mean? He's just doing that to grow the sport. So shout out to him. Shout out to my girlfriend, Erin, War Baby.
let me get to her, because we need views. As soon as I put this beautiful woman on here, where is she?
She's right there.
There we are.
Yeah, there. So she's not fighting right now too much, but she's been training at BTT in Taunton, and she's been for my last camp. She was a huge help. Like just little things, like even going out there. She's been a huge help, and I'm excited. She's not fighting right now, but take some time. She's working on her jiu-jitsu. She has a couple. She's coming off a couple losses, but she was doing really good before that. She's winning in this Muay Thai fight, so we're working on her jiu-jitsu, and then we'll get her back in there eventually. So shout out to her. Shout out to my nutritionist, Tracy Lumgare. She is battling brain cancer right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that was pretty tough. But she even though she was fighting cancer, she decided she stopped all of our other clients, but she helped me out for my last fight to get me ready for Contender Series and got me on weight, and I made weight pretty easily. My family, who else we got? Billy Goff.
Oh, that's right. He was there. He fought that night. We forgot all about Billy, man. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Michael Cristoforo. See, right, this guy right here.
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Let's throw him on that.
He was my breathing coach. He's like certified underneath Wim Hof, and he's certified underneath Oxygen Advantage too. So he was my breathing coach, and I feel like I honestly think it's one little thing I did that helped me out so much with my cardio, my nerves, everything. So I think he's been a huge help. Carlos has been a huge help. He's like my personal training partner right there. Guys, Carlos and Nate.
Where are we looking?
These two guys right there, yeah. Carlos and Nate. Tom Pags, Nick Fury. That's another guy, Nick Fury. Wait till you see that guy. He's unbelievable.
He
Unbelievable.
holds a combat zone title, right?
He has a combat zone
Yeah,
title, but
he's
he's
been
like
killing it.
Like, dude, his jiu-jitsu's
Yeah,
unreal.
yeah.
Ross Levine, he's been a huge help for me. He's always like, just nice to see him around the gym. Motivates me to be like, he's such a stellar athlete and good person, and like so much knowledge in this martial arts game. He's at the title at Karate Combat,
Yeah.
so it's like it's an honor to be around that guy. So, man, there's so many good people in this New England MMA thing that that I like to be a part of and I like to help represent. There's a lot of those kids are all John Morando's students. We had a little cross training between my students and his students, some jiu-jitsu at my gym, and so yeah.
Connor, you put a lot of miles on your car, don't you?
Oh
You're all
my
over the
god!
fucking
I just got
place,
a
huh?
brand new car.
Is that your mom?
That's my
Can we
mom
show her?
right there. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, your mom
Lisa
follows me
Matthews,
on
she's awesome.
She's awesome.
She's a Cage Titans. She's always
Well,
commenting
friends
on
with
the
on
Cage
Facebook.
Titans.
You guys are always doing something. You guys are always doing something.
Cage Titans legend now because of all the stuff she comments on Cage. As Rob Font, I helped out Rob for his fight against Cheeto Vera, which is like just to get work with Rob and Calvin was like it's like freaking awesome.
That's Operation Vet now.
Operation Vet now, yeah. And then KO Gym, I've been training there a lot with Mike Avila.
New
and-
Bedford?
Yeah, New Bedford.
Okay.
I trained on so
I was a
many different
mailman
freaking
over
gyms.
there.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I used to deliver over there.
Yeah,
all
that's
that
right
area
in my
over
hood,
there. Yeah.
right there. So I live in Mattapoisett, so I live really close. So I trained there once a week with Mike Avila, and then there's guys like Cabrera, and it was this guy with the red hair. He does more kickboxing fights.
Yeah, he's fought for No Boundary a
No
couple
Boundary,
of
yeah.
times. He's probably fighting for them again, I
I
think.
think he is. I think he just had to pull out of one because he hurt his hand. But he's got Sean the Turtle, the kid with the pink right there.
Yeah,
I
he
trained
was
with him
in
a
here.
lot.
He was in here with
He's an
Miguel.
awesome
He
kid.
was here with Miguel.
Great kid. Freaking love that kid, man. He's a good kid. Hard worker. He does like 2 jobs. He works at the same place as my girlfriend, and he does another job. He's like a welder. There's Carlos just being a savage. I'm telling you, he's gonna be in the UFC soon. Like he's that kid right there.
Oh, this is on your page.
Yeah.
Is this your? I'm like, where's all this good
That's
stuff
KO.
coming from?
That's KO right there. Yeah.
I went deeper into your Instagram. That's why we're getting the good stuff
Yeah.
right here. Not that the other stuff wasn't, but awesome,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very like. There's so many good guys I've been working with. Mike Rodriguez, love that dude.
He's a funny son of a bitch. Where is
He's
he?
the best. He's right here. Me and Mike.
Oh, right there.
My last fight for CES, he came there and just hung out with me for the whole day before my fight. Great vibes. That's like if you want to hang out with somebody on fight day to get you know what I mean, to like calm you down and like but still keep you focused. Mike Rodriguez. Love that.
True
dude.
story. I hope I know he had to see it, but I was at CES in
That one, the knees. Oh.
But he wasn't fighting. He was just there. I think it was Matt Bassett. Matt Bassett was his last fight.
Yep.
So there's a media guy that we've had words in the past.
Yeah.
So he happened to like pass by me.
Yep.
I haven't seen him in years, and he was giving me like shit, and then Pat Casey was fighting that night.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, Domenico, the media guy's about to get in a fight." I'm screaming it, and all of a sudden I look behind me, and Mike Rodriguez is right there smiling at me, seeing the whole thing. So I was like,
He's probably got your back.
I think he did because I don't think he knew who the hell I was yelling at over here. But yeah, he just smiled at me like I was waiting for that to go down. Like it was fucking funny shit. But yeah, small world.
I've been training at Regiment too. Regiment, I go there once a week.
Where
Brad-
are we? Right?
Yeah,
no, that's Jake. Is that Jake?
That's me and Jake.
That's getting
ready
stuff
for my
ready to
last
fight. Yeah, Regiment with Brian and Tommy, Texera, and all them guys.
Brian's awesome. I love Brian.
Mitch Raposo
Mitch,
over there,
Aaron
and shit like
Hughes.
that. Dude, we
Short
could talk
feud.
all day
Hey, Aaron
about these
Hughes-
fucking people.
Aaron Hughes looked phenomenal in his
Didn't
last
he look
fight.
really good?
He fixed a lot. I think he had to get over as I was talking about. Me and him were talking about this the other day too. It was about just like getting your mental right before the fight, and I think Aaron sometimes for his first couple fights he was psyching himself out before he got to the fight, but like that last fight I thought he looked great.
Yeah.
I thought he looked phenomenal. He looked like a professional fighter.
What I told
mean?
him, because I didn't go to the fight. We have a new guy that's goes to the fights and writes a thing. He didn't know Aaron.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of good things to say about
Yeah.
Aaron that day. And I was like, God, Aaron's been good. He's gonna love to hear this.
Yeah, dude. He was like, I mean, I was impressed. I watched that fight and I was like, damn, Aaron's made a lot of changes in his game. So
He's
I'm
dangerous
excited.
on the ground with that guillotine
got-
too.
yeah,
He's
he's got
catching
that
everybody
guillotine.
with that friggin' thing.
Him and Joe Poirier got these guillotines from death, man. I mean, watch out, those guys.
But like you said, I mean, he looked great on his feet. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, he's always been pretty good leg kicker.
Yeah.
But he's putting it all together now, and now he's dangerous on the ground. So people
Yeah.
have to watch
Yep.
out for that kid. Good for him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I had him in here like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw
it's,
that.
Yeah, it's always good to have him in. He never
He's a
shuts up. He's
character.
like me.
Funny. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he's not afraid to say anything
No,
either.
he's
You know what I
not.
mean? It's like that's why I love him in there. It's just like people were like, you know, shouting at him, and you know, I was putting clips on
What, he
Facebook
get in a
about.
fight with people in the fans? He's talking shit to him.
Well, a little bit on Facebook, or no, he just calls people out, like,
Yeah.
but not in a bad way. He said he wanted to fight 4 people,
Yeah.
and he didn't say. He just thought they were challenging to him. So,
Yeah.
But you know, I put them little things on Facebook, and then
I think
people
you're
wanna
going
know.
to see some good stuff coming out of Aaron now after that last fight. If he's, I know he's fighting at a bigger weight class, which that's another thing. Like, not necessarily cutting weight is always the best thing in the world. I think it puts a strain, and people are not able to get their most athletic self out there. So like maybe jump up at a weight class every once in a while is good for some people. So it's good that he's doing
Exactly.
that. You know what I mean? Like if you're hating your life so much all the way through fight kick because you're struggling to make weight, then maybe you shouldn't just fight that weight. Just fight at a weight class
Exactly.
higher, and then you know. And you feel a lot better.
I'm seeing that a lot more nowadays. People that are, I'm like, because I interview them, like, how you feel? Like, you fight, oh, you know, I felt really good. I think it's, you know, all about that weight cut. It was to have the size over there because everyone else is cutting weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just want that size, but
There's me and Schubert right there.
oh wait, let me get that in there.
There's
Where are
me,
you?
Chris, me.
Where's Schubert? Right here.
No, the one next to that's
Oh, all
Aaron.
right, I'll go to it.
Right there.
Oh, look, he's always bloody.
And I get the blood on my glove.
Fucking, fucking Schubert. He's an animal. Fucking great. That's got to be a Saturday right there, right?
Yeah, it's a Saturday, man. Look at that room. It's freaking always packed. It's crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave off with this right here. You getting
he's
Valdina?
good. Yeah, Valdina.
This was when he was in amateur. This isn't recent, right?
Yep. Now he's fighting pro. I don't know if we've locked in anybody yet. But we'll see. I think he's ready. He's ready to be a pro. He's just, he's doing strength and conditioning. That's another guy, Mike Perry, my strength and conditioning coach. Dude, man, that's a lot of it. So many people are going there now. Like Valdina's going there, Carlos is going there. All the USA MMA guys are going there. That has been a huge help. Staying consistent with what he knows. He really knows what he's doing. So Mike Perry, love that guy.
Excellent, man. And he's battled some,
Cancer.
issues, had cancer, and he's
two of my people, my nutritionist and my strength and conditioner, are like the two of the most healthy people I freaking know. You know what I mean? Like
fuck
literally, that's
cancer,
what they do.
man. Yeah,
That's
it
what
just
they do
comes
is
out of
health and
nowhere.
fitness. And then cancer comes in, so it's like can happen to anybody. So don't take anything for granted.
Excellent, my man. Well, anything lined up for you?
Not fight wise.
No, we know that. But
but-
anything benefits, anything you're going to be doing that you want to throw out there before we get
I'm
going?
going down to see my combat control people next week. I'm gonna go down there and hopefully I'm gonna do some training at Kurt Pellegrino's gym with
That's right.
with a kid I just fought, Francis Marshall. And I did one of those grappling competitions from a kid from New Jersey. He got me in like 30 seconds with a heel hook. So I know there's a lot of good my best friend lives down there. He's a martial artist, kid Connor Storms, who actually grew up in Lakeville MMA. He's living in Jersey right now, and he's like, dude, there's some killers down there. So I'm excited to get down there and do some training with them. That's it. And I got nothing really on the books right now besides helping my teammates out and get into the grind, getting back after. These are my boys right here.
Oh, let me get to that. Right here?
Yeah, right there. So that's like my fight team right there. Those are the people I hang out the most with. So it's Tyler, Carlos, Valdina, my Ian, Jesse Gutierrez. Jesse Gutierrez is like helped me out so much during the pandemic. We literally would train every single day because we couldn't train at gyms. I bought mats, put in my garage, and we trained every. And he helped me out. He's a black belt. Kid is an absolute savage. I wish he still fought, but he doesn't fight anymore.
He doesn't like
want
it.
to do it. But he helped me out. He made me so much better at jiu-jitsu. Just give me work, and so that's a huge help to him.
Tyler and Andrew, they live together? Are they still together?
Yeah, Andrew. I was
Tyler, he bought a house, and Andrew's there now.
Yeah, I did. We watched the fights at their house.
Is that where that is, or that's somewhere else?
That's my parents' house.
Oh, okay.
That was my birthday.
Oh, you watched the fights over there?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent, man.
I think that was what was that? It was like a family party I had at my house, and so they all came over.
Jesus, what a motley crew you invited.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah.
Dude, well, man, I mean, there's going to be a lot of time between now and when you fight. A lot of that. I mean, you want to come down with one of these guys down in the future?
Yeah.
Definitely come down or whatever when you get. What's that?
That's not a bad ride for me. So let me
No,
know.
it's not terrible.
No,
You know what I mean? It's not horrible. Come down with somebody. You know, one of these guys are getting ready to fight. You know, promote it. When you're getting ready to fight, come down. You know.
Yep.
A couple of months or so before, so when I'm not interrupting you. When you're ready for something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could be that CES title fight. Could be another call up to the UFC.
I hope so. We'll see.
It's going to be one of those.
Once I get that UFC call, we'll come back in here maybe before that. If I got a title fight, we'll talk about it, and I love coming down here. So I appreciate you for everything you do. I think it's a huge help to all the local MMA guys. You know, if somebody that. You know, I mean, you just do this because you love it too. I'm sure it's fun for you. So it's like I appreciate you, you know, helping these guys, giving them a platform to be able to get out and speak and do what we're doing right now. So yeah, I'll be here, man. If you need any help, let me know.
Yeah, I'm always here, man. Yeah, you know where it is.
Appreciate it.
I've been up in more podcasts because people been, hey, fucking. I stopped like really reaching out to people. Like people been, hey, can you, so I've been booking them that way, you know, as far as the podcast itself. But
that's good.
Yeah, I love it. Last week I had 2 fighters on going at it.
Oh, really?
They're gonna be fighting each other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So they were like, it was
Were
cool.
they both here?
No, they were on. I had them both in, but I'll have that too. You know what I mean? I'll bring you in as
we have to have you sit between them.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I can handle that right now. You know what I mean? I can't keep them down. But with that said, Connor, anything other than I get your Instagram handle over here. Anything other than you have that? You want to?
I don't think so.
Any other addresses?
No, I don't think so. If you guys want to buy shirts, I believe I still have shirts on my website, thecontrollermma.com. Yep, and that's it. Really, that's all we got. I mean, stay tuned for the future. I'll be back soon. I'm feeling better, and we're gonna chase after. We're not done. Not even close to done. And can't wait to see what the future holds for me.
Excellent, my man. Well, thanks for coming down.
Thanks, brother.
And we'll be watching you definitely. I'll be seeing you around. I'll be at all these fights, and we'll hook up there. We'll get a word about what's going on in that venue there.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, man. Thanks. Connor Matthews. We out of here. People tune in Wednesday night. I don't know who will be on. It could be just Tommy and myself just talking shit. But with that said, thank you so much, my man. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.